Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions from the worlds of social media, pop culture, and sports. And we have a really cool special for you guys. We are talking to three hockey players. Specifically, we are talking to three players from USA Hockey's National Team Development Program. So I'm really excited to introduce the three players we have. First, we have Tyler Inamoto. Tyler, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Then we have Grant Mismash. Grant, welcome to the show.
No, thank you.
And we have the captain, Brady Tkachuk. Brady, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So it's been a crazy couple of months for you guys with winning the gold medal at the World U Under 18 Championship. So congrats on that. Just Brady, how do you even sum up that? You know, you're with these players a lot, all year round. So that's a little bit unique to the situation, rather than it's just players being chosen from different junior teams. But the chemistry must have been amazing from day one, right, Brady?
Yeah, we've been together for the past 2 years now, and we've been working out, skating every day. So you kind of get to know all the guys, and we just kind of became friends over the past years, and we all believe in each other. And I think that's we carried that into the tournament. We just believed in ourselves.
Absolutely. And start off with a little bit of the individual questions. I mean, we'll start with Tyler. You know, you have committed to University of Wisconsin, so you're going to be a Badger very soon. And I just wanted to know, on and off the ice, Tyler, what kind of player would you describe yourself? Like, what kind of player are the Badgers getting from you?
I think as a player, I'm a physical guy. I like to use the body a lot, and I'm hard to play against my own zone. I try to sacrifice my body every night for the boys, and do whatever I can so the team is successful. So on ice, I think that's what I'll bring to the team, and then off ice, just community service work. I'll try to give back to the community because living in Madison is going to be a great experience and a lot of fan support. And without the fans, it's nothing. So give back to the community and everybody who believed in me.
Absolutely. Well, that's great to hear. And moving to Grant Mismash, probably one of the coolest names going into the 2017 NHL draft. I have to say that. I'm sure. Do you get that sometimes?
Oh yeah, I get that a lot.
Brady and Tyler, what are some of the nicknames that we have for Grant around the team? Is there anything?
We have Masher. We've got Mesh. Kind of there.
I like. Oh, Tyler, what were you gonna say?
Grant the Ant.
Grant the Ant. I'm gonna go with Masher. I like that one. So Masher, I understand that you went to a prep school. You went to Shattuck St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a lot of notable alumni, NHL, NCAA, that have gone to Shattuck St. Mary. Talk a little bit about your experience there and maybe how it's helped you as a player to date.
Yeah, it was a great place to be. I cherished every moment there. It's a special place. I think Tyler will agree with me. We were teammates the first year there. You just create special bonds within the dorms and being with the guys every day, going to school together, things like that. Overall, it was just a great experience, and I'm glad I went that route. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And then Brady, it's no secret you've come from a pretty successful hockey family. And I just wanted to know, when you were starting, with the development program and going to the Worlds, because I know your brother was very busy with something called the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs as well. But were you in touch with your parents, your father and your brother? Was there any advice that they gave you before the tournament? How was that, having those resources? Because a lot of people could make a case that that's obviously a huge advantage, especially with their successful careers.
Yeah, my dad's always given me some advice. He's always given me like two kind of things to go by, and that's compete every day and always be a good teammate. So I take that to heart every day, and I try to do that every day. And my brother, he also gives me advice to just work your hardest every day. Just try to get better every day. I mean, there's gonna be tough days, but you just gotta kind of push and persevere. And yeah, my dad was able to go to the tournament up in Slovakia, so it was great to see him there. Talk about how I played and what we can do better moving forward. And yeah, it's great seeing him every day. We always talk about kind of the faults of the game and what I did well. And yeah, I think that's a great learning resource.
Absolutely. So now, away from the specific questions for all three of you, but stuff for the round table now. It's been a big year for all three of you. For two of you, it is your NHL draft year. Brady's got to wait a little longer for that. But I just want to know, I'm sure on and off the ice you've learned many things this year. Is there anything specifically that you could take away that you think that will help your career down the road, specifically, whether it was at the Worlds, whether it was in school or with your teammates and your classmates? Tyler, let's start with you. Anything come to mind?
Just perseverance through everything. So just like Chuck said, you have to work hard every day, and that can get tiring. And just leaning on your teammates and knowing that they'll have your back every day, and just trusting the process, and it'll get you to the right place. So I'd say just persevering through everything that's happened, and it's obviously brought us a lot closer this year, and it's lifelong relationships now.
Grant, what about you?
I would just say being mature, being a young man and turning into a man. It was our coach this year preached that a lot. Just being mature around the rink and school and just in public, things like that. And obviously, if you want to last in the hockey world, you can't be a young kid for too long. So that's probably one of the biggest things that I have learned this year is to grow up a little bit, mature, and just take it day by day and work hard.
And Brady, and anything, Brady, for you specifically about being captain, because that's a learning experience right there.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning experience this year. It was a huge honor to be the captain, and I think the biggest thing for us as a team was just believe in each other, and that we kind of carried that message through the whole season. Is that it's not going to happen just all of a sudden. We got to work for it, and it's kind of been a 2-year long kind of work out the process, and it finally paid off. And we knew we just had to believe in that process, and things are going to turn out all right.
And this is for all three of you. In one word, it's a rapid fire question. What word can you describe your experience in Slovakia, the World under 18s? Tyler, Grant, Brady, one word on top of your head. Is there any word specifically that you could that sums up the whole experience for you? I'll accept gold. I know that's a little cop out, but
I think I would say unbelievable, because it was just kind of, we've been all working for it, and for the past 2 years, and when we won the gold medal, it made it unbelievable, because you did it with the 22 brothers you had. I mean, we all went through the same thing. We all went through the pain, the downs, the ups, and just the biggest relief to when that siren went off, and just hugging everybody you saw, and just kind of memories that will last forever.
Great. Tyler?
I'd have to say, I don't know, brotherhood, because we've been through a lot of, as Chuck said, ups and downs, a lot of injuries on the team. We've lost guys to injuries, and it's hard seeing that, but we leaned on each other, and everybody bought into what coach was saying. And in the end, we were champions and wearing gold medals. So I'd say brotherhood, yeah.
All right, and Masher, your turn.
Let's say perseverance. Last year's 17s, we had a really rough year. At the beginning of this year, no one really believed in us. No one really thought that we would have even won an international tournament. I mean, even if you asked our team last year if we would have won all 3 international tournaments this year, I think we'd all say you're crazy. But I mean, yeah, just going to the tournament, it was we had a lot of confidence. Obviously, coming off 2 international wins, so we persevered throughout the whole year, and even during that tournament, we had some ups and downs and things like that. So, it was obviously just good to get that gold medal. So, yeah.
So the game recap should have read, "Unbelievable brotherhood perseveres." I think that's what it should have been. But no, that's great, guys. And Popternative is a little bit of a social media centric show. That's my background, and I always like asking athletes about what they think about social media. It's split down the middle. Some people really love it and enjoy it. A lot of people are a little cautious about it. I just wanted your opinion on social media. I know all 3 of you are pretty active on social media, but there are things you have to take into account, especially with the NCAA route, of course. But Brady, what is your perspective on your social media use?
Yeah, I mean, I really like social media. It's great to maybe catch up on things you didn't see. Like, you get to on Twitter, you can see like moments that are going on throughout the world and like the hockey world, like things you can see. But yeah, for sure you have to watch what you say. But yeah, I'm really like pro kind of. I love going on social media, like free time. I like to go on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and all that stuff. And yeah, I really enjoy that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Tyler, what about you?
Yeah, I totally agree with Chuck. You gotta be cautious with what you put out there, and just know that that's there for the rest of your life. But I'm totally for social media. It's a great way to meet new people. It's a great way to grow the game of hockey. Get younger kids get into it and just keep growing the brand of hockey. And it's a great way to be a role model as well. Just try to inspire youth.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And Grant, you recently exceeded 1,000 Twitter followers, so he's coming for you, Brady. He's coming there. He's getting to you, Brady. Out of everyone on the team, you probably have the most, right?
I'm not totally sure. I mean, I don't really kind of pay attention to that stuff.
That might or might not be a lie because you're smiling a lot. But
give me a shout out, guys. Come on.
I'll give you all shout outs. I have a few followers on there. But yeah, Grant, what's your? Because I see you're pretty active on it in terms of retweeting and following sports updates. But what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. It's a great way to, like Chuck said, catch up on news and things like that today. Twitter's obviously great. Obviously, in the position that we're in, we're under a pretty big microscope, so we got to be a little more cautious of what we put out there in front of some of these little young kids that follow us that are aspiring to be in our shoes one day. So obviously you got to be a little cautious and just think about when you were 8 years old, looking up to some of those guys that were where we are today. So, but yeah, I think it's overall a good system with all the apps that we have today and things like that. So it's good.
And yeah, with social media, with the World Juniors and the U18s, like every player that's in that tournament because of social media is like 24/7 under the microscope. Like you guys are like the center of attention. I mean, I guarantee you that your social media notifications were like nonstop throughout that tournament. I think all 3 of you could say that, and maybe after, because maybe you didn't check it during the tournament, but like when you went back, I'm sure it was just like a flood, like nonstop.
Yeah.
Overall. Yeah. But at the same time too, it's like I like what you said, Grant, about being a role model. I think that's really important. And to tie into my next question, I mean, growing up, you guys were able to be around Brady as well, but like you guys going to Shattuck St. Mary and being around a lot of NHLers growing up. Who did you model your game after growing up, or someone you really liked player wise that you aspired to be? Was there anyone, Tyler, on top of your head?
Uh, when I was really young, first starting to play hockey, I was a big Matt Sundin's fan from my dad liking the Leafs, and I was a forward. And then when I switched to D, I didn't really have a guy that I looked up to and tried to model my game after. I just try to play my own game out there. So I don't really anybody to model after doing that.
Grant, what about you? Anyone? Maybe not model your game after, because I find that's a bit of a weird question for a lot of you, because you're obviously gonna be like, I model a game, like I'm Mash. I'm not anyone else. That's what I do. But like I'm sure some of you like growing up that interests you.
Yeah. I think every little American kid will tell you Patrick Kane. I love Patrick Kane. I've always been a big fan of him. Obviously, he's a pretty electric player. It was fun to watch. So yeah, I would say that's my role model growing up, and yeah.
And Brady, I'm guessing it might be someone maybe that was on the Blues, the Coyotes. I don't know I don't know where, like, how old you were when your dad was on the Coyotes or the Blues, but anyone probably. I would make a solid bet that it's probably a player that was on either one of those teams.
Yeah, it's for sure. He's for sure my number one favorite player growing up. But then I also had the opportunity. My dad took in a couple young players, and they just got to St. Louis, and that was David Backus, Lee Stempniak, and Phil McRae.
Yeah.
They lived at our house for a little bit when they just got here, and yeah, we'd always hang out. We'd always play mini sticks, play roller hockey. So I really looked up to those guys, and it was really just great to be around them when they're around the house.
That must be like that's a pretty crazy, but like that must be overwhelming though. Like every day, that's like your life. Breakfast and mini sticks with 3 guys in the NHL. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, they all came different times. I remember David was when I was in like maybe 3rd grade and maybe 5th, and Phil was kind of later on in my life, and so it was kind of like I learned like a little bit different from like David to Phil, and it was great to have him around.
No, absolutely. And look. Now, a little Grant and Tyler and Brady, a little bit of Scudroom report questions right now, because we talked about the social media, we talked about your experience. But let's talk about your styles of games as well. Grant, a lot of people talk about your speed. You're a speedy player. You're a speedy forward. Is that something you want to? Is that something you want to hear? I mean, like specifically that you're like a speedy, dynamic forward that could make plays, get to the net, score some goals. Like when you hear people say his biggest asset is his speed, do you like that? Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I think it's pretty accurate. I like to make plays at a high pace. I think it's a big part of the game now that's growing is everyone's so fast, so you got to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be quick with your decisions, things like that. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty accurate assumption. Like I said, it's a big part of the game. Everyone's working on it and getting faster and stronger. So I guess you just gotta keep up with it. So.
And Tyler, like Grant, it is your NHL draft year. A lot of preparation, and it's going to be a big month in June. And getting faster and stronger, you're going to say that. But anything specific that you're working on this past year to make your game more complete moving forward for the NHL draft, Tyler?
Obviously getting bigger, faster, stronger. I've just been working on cardio, getting ready for that because next level you need to have high endurance. So just continue to strengthen my legs and strengthen my lungs so I can handle the workloads.
That's great. And Brady, playmaker. That's something I see a lot with your style of game. But would you also say that because your brother Matt that plays in the NHL, he can put the puck in the net, but he's also very physical. Is that something you want to do as well? Be kind of that forward that can get production but also be physical, or is it like a completely different type of style compared to your brother?
Yeah, I kind of like to pride myself on playing really hard to play against. My goal is kind of make the opponent like kind of fear and I like to get in their face a little bit, kind of not afraid after the whistle, get into a couple scrums, but But yeah, no, I like to really work hard and really like just be around the net. Take pucks to the net, make kind of close to the net plays, and yeah, I think that's kind of sums up my game.
Yeah, that sounds. I know you wanna be your own player, but that does sound a little bit like your brother. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
yeah, I might be a little feistier than him. I might be going out my way more to hit guys, but yeah, it's a lot. It's very similar to my brother.
Absolutely. Well, we'll wrap up soon. But I thought this was really awesome that all three of you were able to come on the podcast. This is amazing. Tyler and Grant, I wish you all the best ahead of your NHL, your draft year, the entry level draft. Enjoy every second of it. It's gonna be a wild ride. Brady, I wish you all the best in a few years because we know you have a little bit more time and
Thank you.
it's unbelievable. But yeah, any closing remarks? Anything specific you want to say, Tyler?
No,
No,
thank you.
nothing, no problem. And Grant, you're good.
Yep. Thank you.
And Brady, where can we follow you guys on social media? Like what are your Twitter handles? Brady?
I'm Brady Tkachuk 71 on Twitter, and then Brady Tkachuk on Instagram. So if you have the time, go press the follow button.
Yeah, but you know what, man? I gotta tell you, your brother, Tkachuk Cheese, like
Great man.
it's one of my favorite Twitter handles in the hockey world, and it's so good.
Yeah, he has a good one out there.
Absolutely. Grant, what about you?
My Instagram is gmismash16, and then I think my Twitter handle is gmish16. So.
Okay, perfect. And Tyler, what about?
Twitter handle is just Tyler Inamoto, and then Instagram is Tyler Inamoto 13.
Perfect. Well, yeah, all the best, guys. Brady, Grant, Tyler, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much to USA Hockey's National Team Development Program for setting this up. This was amazing. Wish you all the best. You can catch previous episodes of Popternative on our YouTube page and our SoundCloud and iTunes page for audio onlys. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. We hope you enjoy this interview. Again, all the best, and this is PD Beats signing out.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.